All right, so on this first question, this is for 11.3.3. In this first question, it says the terminal point of theta is, and then it actually gives you the terminal point. So right here's our point. What is the cosine of theta? So what we know is, like, I'm going to scroll way down here for a second. On our unit circle, when it's talking about like a terminal point, it's this point maybe on the circle. So like this ordered pair, or this ordered pair, or this ordered pair, or this ordered pair. So it's the points on the unit circle all the way around, okay? So the ordered pairs that represent, that are technically representative, the x and y ordered pairs are technically representative of the cosine of theta and the sine of theta. So for all of these, the points on the unit circle, x, y, so the x coordinate represents the cosine of theta, our angle, and the y coordinate represents the sine of theta. And then for some other problems, we can find the tangent of theta, which is your third like basic trig function, by dividing sine of theta by the cosine of theta. So tangent, this is kind of the definition of tangent, is sine divided by cosine. And for us, sine, we just said the sine is the y value of our ordered pair. So sine of theta is y. Cosine of theta is the x value of our ordered pair. So a quick shortcut to find the tangent of a point or of an angle, theta, is y divided by x, okay? So this one says the terminal point of theta is that point. What is the cosine? So now, you know the cosine is just the x value of the ordered pair. So right here, radical 3 over 2, or square root of 3 over 2, okay? Okay, in a unit circle, theta equals 2 pi radians. What is the terminal point? So what that's referring to, again, on our unit circle, if this is our unit circle, we start at 0, and then to get 2 pi, that's the radian measure of going around a full circle. So this is that, I'm going to erase that for a second, put it in on the inside. So that angle right there, the radian measure of that angle is either 0 or full circle, you go all the way around to 2 pi. It's asking for the terminal point. So like what's the ordered pair? This would be the point 1, 0. So you know, like on the unit circle, if this is your point, now that we know it's 2 pi, if that's your point on the unit circle, we know the radius of the circle is 1, so basically that's just going right 1 on the x-axis. So it's the point 1, 0, okay? So whatever it asks you for, if it asks you for the terminal point, you just look on, I'm going to go back down here. You look on this unit circle, find the radian measure, which I'm going to add it here. This is 0, 2 pi. It's also 0 degrees or 360 degrees. So this point, 1, 0, is what we're looking for, okay? All right, next question. In a unit circle, theta equals 90 degrees. Identify the terminal point and the sine of theta. So 90 degrees, I'm going to draw a quick unit circle here, kind of like we did on the last problem. 90 degrees is this point at the very top. Let's move this a little bit to the left. Okay, so 90 degrees is this point at the top. It's saying we start here at 0 and we're going to rotate a quarter of a circle, so up to 90 degrees. I want to know what is this point, okay? So again, that's one of our special points. We're just going up 1 on the y-axis, so it's the point 0, 1. And then we also just found out that the point represents the cosine of theta as the x value, the sine of theta as the y value. So our point is 0, 1. That means this one's not right and this one's not right. And then the sine, we're looking for our y value right there, is a positive 1. So it would be this one right here, option A. Okay, question 5. Which equation shows the Pythagorean identity is true for theta equals pi? Okay, so I'll show you what that is in a second. Select the equation that is in the form sine squared pi plus cosine squared pi equals 1. Now, I'm going to rewrite that equation there. That's really saying like the sine of pi, the whole function squared, plus the cosine of pi, the whole function squared, is equal to 1, which is true. That's one of our Pythagorean identities. Or that is the Pythagorean identity, I guess. It's a trigonometric identity. So what we need to do is figure out first, what's this part on the inside? So what's the sine of pi and the cosine of pi? So if I scroll down to my unit circle right here, here's pi. here's my ordered pair for pi, -1, 0. So I'm not going to have you like memorize it at any point for this class. So -1, 0, that means this is the cosine and 0 is the sine. So now we can plug those in for right here, what's in green. So the sine of pi, that's just 0. So we're going to say 0 squared plus the cosine of pi, that's this part, -1 squared, and I want to show that equals 1. Now if you look at your options, it should match exactly. So right here, 0 squared plus -1 squared. This is technically like the equation is correct, but in the form that they gave it to you, you switch the sine and the cosine, okay? So just being picky, it's technically not correct. All right, last question here, and I'm going to erase these green highlights. Okay, last question. Theta equals pi over 4 radians. So they're giving you an angle measure, pi over 4 radians. I'm going to go ahead and show you pi over 4 is right here. It's 45 degrees, and that's all the information that you would have to know for pi over 4, okay? 45 degrees, pi over 4, and then your point is radical 2 over 2, radical 2 over 2. Identify the terminal point and the tangent of theta. Okay, so we know the terminal point is radical 2 over 2, so it's not this one, it's not this one. Now, in the very first question I kind of showed you, the tangent is equal to the y value divided by the x value, because technically it's the sine divided by the cosine, okay? So if you think of it as sine over cosine, we know sine is the y value of our point, cosine is the x value of our point. Okay, so then if we do, if we take, our point is radical 2 over 2, radical 2 over 2. So to find the tangent, I take the y value of my point, which is radical 2 over 2, so radical 2 over 2, divided by the x value of my point, or the cosine, which is also radical 2 over 2. And then just like basic rule of math, we know any number divided by itself, so since these are both the same, the top and the bottom, this is just going to equal 1. I don't have to go through and do all of the work. So there's the correct answer. Has the correct point and the correct tangent value, okay?